Hello friends! So today is going to be the third check-in for VSG. It's going to be our weight management appointment that I had last week, and I am just going to dive in and talk to you about this because we discussed a lot, and I was super appreciative of the way that my provider communicates with me. I had went through some moments of self-awareness now that I've started Ozempic. And I hadn't seen her since I started, so this was kind of a check-in. She's asking me how I'm doing with it, if it's got my A1C under control yet, and my glucose, and all of that I get checked in about 3 months. So I don't know much about that. I know I feel good. I know when I check my glucose here, it's getting better. And so I'm assuming that my A1C is going to be just fine. But I let her know what I've kind of gained out of being on Ozempic. And that has been knowing how to properly have portions, how to properly eat and listen to my body when I'm hungry, when I can stop, and when it crosses the line of emotional eating. Because I always thought that I had this under control. I always felt that I'm not really that bad. My portions are good, but oh no, once I started Ozempic, I realized that my portions were out of control. They really were. I can now eat very little and be completely satisfied and go on with my day. And actually it gives me more energy. I feel better. I feel that I'm in a better mood, and it's just a different feeling. And before, I would blend the two. So if I was having a bad day, I would eat. If I was having a good day, I would eat. That has always been this soothing thing for me. And knowing now that those two don't need to blend, and that now that I have Ozempic that's helping me with this part of my life, I need to now work on what the emotional part is and what triggers I have that make me think that I need to self-soothe with food. So that has been my homework for this month for myself. And it brought up a lot. I mean, it brought up past eating disorders that I had when I was a kid. I had an eating disorder from the age 11 to the age 22. And it just really messed up my relationship with my body and my relationship with food. And so I am going into this new journey with that in mind, and just wanting to dissect everything, because I don't want to go down that road ever again. And I feel I'm at a pretty good spot in my life. I've done a lot that did not work out for me as far as dieting. I know my limits of when I'm pushing myself way too far. And I feel like I said before, I'm not doing this purely just to lose weight. I'm doing this to heal everything, to heal my mind, my body, because VSG is going to be something I am not going to abuse. I'm going to do it right, and I want to make sure all of me is just really self-aware of it. So when this portion thing came up, and how my emotions really fuel into how I treat myself, I wanted to really sit with that this month. And by doing so, I have been able to get those triggers, and I catch them before they happen. I say to myself, like, is this the right level of self-nurturing? And I even wrote that on my mirror, because I need to really be committed to the right level of self-nurturing. And if it does not resonate with pulling you out in a positive way, then you need to just cut it. You need to let it go. And it clicked for me. And every time this month, this whole month, every time I have a negative thought, I go right back to that saying, and it pulls me out, and I'm able to reset my way of thinking. And if I, feel like, oh, I'm just so happy I lost 2 pounds, let me go have a cookie. I remember that phrase and I'm like, that is not right. You are not celebrating because of doing a good job. You're not going to celebrate with food. Just the same you wouldn't do if you had a bad day. You know that those lead to bad decisions and neglecting what is really right for you. So this whole thing has just been a really, really, really good opportunity for me to dive into those triggers and to face on when I do know that I am not paying attention to what I truly need. So what has really, really helped me this month, and I know I've mentioned it in a couple of other videos, that I am a true believer in astrology. Nothing has ever really helped me understand myself, the world around me, people around me, as much as astrology has. I've always had a general understanding and appreciation for astrology. And I would go to my birth chart and pull it up, study it, and really get to know it, because I feel by knowing and understanding your birth chart, you're going to understand and know yourself. And that has really proven to be true in my situation. So I went and ordered tons of books. I wanted to know more about this. So I just kept researching. How do you learn about yourself through your birth chart? And it has helped me so much. I'm a Taurus, so I can be stubborn and I can be very spitfirey, but sometimes that's just not, it's not what's good for you. It doesn't really promote your growth. So knowing those more appealing, more positive assets from a Taurian can actually help you with growth. And it goes on and on. I mean, there's your ascendant sign, there's your moon sign. All of those just create this great picture of you. And when you can understand it, you'll better understand not only yourself, but how you can interact with others, how others respond to you, your gifts that you have. It could be anything. You could be leaving so much on the table by not knowing your birth chart. I believe it. And I really hope that you all can at least just take a look at it. Take a look at your birth chart, take a look at some of the videos. So this specific astrology site that I'm talking about is called Sirius Joy. It's SIRIUSJOY. And it's like an intuitive astrology site based on your natal birth chart. So they take everything, all your planets, all those degrees, and they formulate how and what actually helps you grow, what you are a master at and what you might need work on. And every day they post a daily pep talk. And that kind of tells you, where we're at astrologically and how it corresponds with you specifically. But I highly suggest just looking at their YouTube videos. They're kind of dated, but it's still just, the information is just lovely. If you can look at their playlist regarding I think it's the steps, the degrees, and it will make sense the way he explains it. But really knowing your chart, and that's pulled me out of a lot. Going to that website every day, they have little lists for you to work on. If you want to sign up, if you sign up for it, they send you little text messages or they'll send you emails, however you prefer. And they're just little blurbs throughout the day that are geared towards you and your sign and your everything, your birth chart, and how you would respond to the degree of the day. So the degrees, they do matter in astrology, and he kind of breaks it down. This is his own system, but it is phenomenal. and it has really, really helped me. So that's what I've been using. And if you're interested in any of that, I suggest looking up your birth chart, and I go to astro.com. It's free. Just type in there, get your birth chart, and then go reference your birth chart to his videos. That's kind of how I started. And boy, is it going to just knock your boots off. It is so interesting. There are other websites that you can get full on read of your birth chart, and those are free too. AstroSeek, they're a good one. But when you start to dive into that, that's a really, really, really good tool to just start to learn yourself and what you are all about. It really does just start with you. And if you can just peel back those layers of getting to know yourself and become self-aware of these little things that you do or you should do, what actually encourages growth out of you specifically, because what works for Molly McPeterson isn't going to work for you, because you're two different people. So if you try this out and you go to his website, I'll put all of it below, and I'll reference his YouTube videos. But if you try any of this, or you have any questions, or you just want to talk about it, because I can talk about it all day, let me know in the comments. I am so curious if anyone will try it out and if it works for them, because every day I am just thankful that I have this tool. Other than that, the visit went really well, and I'm just excited that I only have 2 more visits to go, and that by being on Ozempic, it's kicked up these emotions for me to just dive in and to better understand myself. Better ways of self-nurturing. So don't forget that. And don't forget my little quote, because it's super helpful. Write it on your mirror, write it in your car, write it on a Post-it and stick it on your desk. Write it in some snow because it's cold outside. Like, write it down. I am committed to the right level of self-nurturing. I'm telling you, it does wonders. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Again, let me know if you try that astrology out, and don't forget to like. All right, bye-bye, friends.